days, another episode. And to it all, we have to hold on. Face the fears and fight no matter how long. Solid, chatty with every load. Don't panic, cause every day's another episode. And to it all, we have to hold on. Face the fears and fight no matter how long. The fight only finish with the weak ones. So when that you call, you watch how you respond. Dark face your fears, fight your demons. Can't be firm, we go to a jubilation. He is a heavy load, still a chatana. Have a legacy fi build, so me fi carry on. And the dark days pray fi go to the storm. Now give up none time, cause that's what we born. Solid, Johnny with every load. Don't panic, cause every day's another episode. And to be all, we have to hold on. Face your fears and fight no matter how long. Solid, Johnny with every load. Don't panic, cause every day's another episode. And to be all, we have to hold on. Face your fears and fight no matter how long.
Solid, me solid, just like a rock. Spiritually we fight a lot. They trap them, said Jack cancel that. You just can't stop me, not try do that. Got to be careful of negligence. Move wise, use up your intelligence. Guard of honor like the president. Progress and its evidence. Me no care how much time they want turn me down. Things say me woulda tumble down. Chant to me ancestors speak Congo drum. That's why me know me have to overcome. Stand firm and don't lean for no one. You can set up your own program. Have the whole world a sing out the slogan. No time in a slow down. Plus we
solid, Johnny with every load. Don't panic, cause every day's another episode. And to be all, we have to hold on. Face your fears and fight no matter how long. Solid, Johnny with every load. Don't panic, cause every day's another episode. And to be all, we have to hold on. Face your fears and fight no matter how long.
See, we got to make it out. My life then couldn't take mine. Got to watch your head side. Come from the worst, yeah. But me try to live the best life, so me couldn't left mine. No for them just body not the most. So me coming like a landslide from the hillside. Looking at the mirror, know me proud. So me got the vision, every man no see it now. So we there up on a meditation and try to get rid of from the elevation. Watching how they try to put them up on the top. Dirty hard people now have the best hand out. But you are walking, and I get chopped till the lies you don't be talking. Boy, on up and give thanks for the making. The mountain negativity, the about you is a rage. When me by myself out to the Father, me be paid. Need a little balance for the things that me be facing. Need a little blessings, cause me have been really waiting. So me have to tip the scales, cause it's too heavy. Get lost in the lies. Not once but twice, yeah. They don't want us to thrive. So we there up on a meditation and try to get me down from the elevation. Watching how they try to put them up on the top. Dirty hard people now have the best hand out. But you are the walking, and I get chopped till the lies you don't be talking. Boy, on up and get thanks up for the making. Them out of negativity, them out of is raging. Yeah, still I think about the choice. Would you really give your soul to live a better life? So me rather pray to God and watch my blessings multiply. No fear demons, got the Father by my side. Oh, lonely road, oh, Lord, no. Let me give you a little advice, now everybody dig man vibe. On a meditation, try to get rid of from me elevation. Watching how they try to put them up on the top. Dirty hard people have the best eyes. Oh, watch you how they walking, and I get chopped in the lies that they'll be talking. That's all I up and get thanks for the making. Cause I'm out of negativity, they about your rage. When me by myself out to the Father, me be paging. Need a little balance for the things I may be facing. Need a little blessings, cause me I be really waiting. And me have me really waiting, cause it's too heavy, get lost in the life. Not once, but not twice. One is a twice. While we always stay up on a meditation, try to get rid of me up on a mess up. Watching how they try to put them on the top. Reaching out to voodoo on the road, I read my dog. And I got chopped in the eyes, I don't be talking. And get thanks up for the making them out of negativity about it, it's a raging.
This is Quincy Anderson. You know I love my country. There's no other country better than mine. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil too. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Hey, hey, Guyana is nice, Guyana is fun, Guyana is clean, Guyana is green, Guyana got oil, Guyana got gold, Guyana got young and Guyana got old. I ain't talking no more. Guyana got things, we growing wings and developing things. The government real and that's a big deal. I'm singing from my heart, I ain't Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil too. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I... This is Quincy Anderson. You know I love my country. There's no other country better than mine. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil too. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Hey, hey, Guyana Guyana is nice, Guyana is fun, Guyana is clean, Guyana is green, Guyana got oil, Guyana got gold, Guyana got young and Guyana got old. I ain't talking no more. Guyana got things, we growing wings and developing things. The government real and that's a big deal. I'm singing from my heart, Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going.
Wake up, good day, it's bright, time to feel the flow. Turn your dial for your vibe, we're ready to go. With Courdel, don't you know it's gonna be real? From 8 to 9, bringing vibes you can feel.
News, views, and what's hot today will keep you wide in every way. Livewire, tune in and feel the spark. Every morning, lighting up your heart. Courdel's here, bringing life to your day. Monday to Friday, we're paving the way. Livewire. Wake up, today is bright, time to feel the flow. Turn your dial to Livewire, we're ready to go. With Courdel Jones, you know it's gonna be real. From 8 to 9, from 8 to 9, bringing vibes you can feel. News, views, and what's hot today will keep you wired in every way. We'll keep you wired every way, in every way. Livewire, tune in and feel the spark. Every morning, lighting up your heart. Courdel's here, bringing life to your day. Monday to Friday, we're paving the way. Stories that matter, we got the scoop. From the latest headlines to the local truth. It's your community, your voice, your power. Livewire hits you every hour. So grab your coffee, your tea, or toast. With Courdel Jones, we'll give you the most. Livewire, we'll give you the way. Running to the energy, the beat of the street, the show that connects. It's where people meet. We're wired to your world, we got the news. On Livewire, there's nothing to lose. Livewire, tune in and feel the spark. Every morning, lighting up your heart. Courdel's here, bringing life to your day. Monday to Friday, we're paving the way. Livewire, tune in and feel the spark. Every morning, lighting up your heart. Courdel's here, bringing life to your day. Monday to Friday, we're paving the way. Livewire, tune in and feel the spark. Every morning, lighting up your heart. Courdel's here, bringing life to your day. Monday to Friday, we're paving the way. Stories that matter, we got the scoop. From the latest headlines to the local truth. It's your community, your voice, your power. Livewire hits you every hour. Livewire, tune in and feel the spark. Every morning, lighting up your heart. It's your community, your voice, your power. Livewire hits you every hour.
Good morning, and welcome to another episode of Livewire with yours truly. It's really great to be here with you on this Thursday morning. Before we continue, however, I would ask you guys to join me in come on, this is this. I did this from the phone, the computer. Nevertheless, I'd ask you guys to join me in wishing the Vice President and the General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party, Civic, Dr. Barak Jatio. Today is his birthday. He's celebrating today. And I'd ask you guys to join me in wishing him happy birthday, health, strength, and more so strength to continue dedicate the time and energy that he does to ensuring that Guyana benefits and Guyana moves forward, Guyana moves forward as a country, right? So, guys, join me in wishing the Vice President and the General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party, Dr. Barry Jagdeo, Vice President of Guyana and the General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party, Dr. Barry Jagdeo, wishing him a happy birthday today, right? That aside, yeah, that aside, um, there is the, oh, yeah, we're waiting for Minister Indar to log into the studio. So I'm just checking the phone to make sure that he gets in here or he gets into the studio, okay, so we can get on with today's programming. That aside from the birthday of the General Secretary, just so you know, just so you guys know, not because today is a day of celebration, right? Just so you guys know, despite today is his birthday at 2 p.m. at 2 p.m. today, um, there will be the press conference by the General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party, Dr. Jagdeo. So you guys can tune into that as well and be updated on things in relation to Guyana in the political sphere and that sort of thing. Right? So 2 p.m. today, press conference as normal, and we'll be hearing from the General Secretary. Right? As advertised, we should be having the minister within the Ministry of Public Works, the Honorable Deodat Indar, to talk to us about accomplishments of 2024 and how budget 2025 will, help to keep that progress going. As the theme says, secure, prosperous, and sustainable Guyana. Before we get to the minister, just to give you an idea, for Sea Defense, we have $8.2 billion allocated. Also for roads and bridges, 209.3 billion. And also here we have for energy expansion and diversification, $88 billion allocated, right? So shortly, Minister will be with us and we'll be able to get the show on the road. Morning to all the persons joining us across the diaspora. Morning to the persons joining us across the 10 administrative regions. Really happy to have you guys here. I'm really glad that you guys are tuning in this week so that you can have first-hand information from the persons who run these agencies and are a part of the massive progress and transformation that you're seeing in and around Guyana. Morning to Vishnu Chintaman joining us from Pennsylvania, Lenny Lachman, Generine Narendra, morning to you, Nadia, Rajendra Singh, morning to you, Chris Hanuman Prem Kumar, good morning to you, Mohammed Isa, who else we got here? Joseph Satar, Raymond Ali, good morning to you, Azim Nabi, Balwan Danraj, morning to you, Fatu Sharma, morning, Suknandan Bud Ali Khan, Eunice, Rita and Polly, good morning to the three of you. Eunice is joining us from Canada with Rita, and Polly is joining us from industry. Arnold Hanuman, morning, joining us from Miami. Bisundak Mohan, morning. Ronald Jones joining us from the USA. Donna Alfonso, morning to you. Pam, morning to you and Trevor, joining us from our CARICOM sister country. Morning, Razio, morning to you, Derek Trupal, Richard Stanislas. Good morning to you guys from Basio. A lot of people come in. I realize when y'all know these ministers come in, y'all on the show early. But I'm glad that you guys are here and you can hear firsthand about the massive infrastructural works that are happening around the country. Annie Chan, morning to you. Lola Harry, good morning. Ricky Knott. Soma Pipat, morning to you. Philip Diabru and Hill. Prasad Pati joining us from Kitty. Jasoda Bujra and David Sabrian. Good morning to you. Riaz Ali. Morning to you as well. Pushram Kishore, Jean Cornelius. What else we got here? Ashmi Basdio, Joe Nabijan joining us from Canada as well. Krishna Diadat. Darshini Ali. Sumant Bibi. Samad Bibi, morning to you. We got Councillor Adwin Ashby on the live here this morning as well. Feroz Wahi joining us on the live. Vishal Prasad on the live as well. Morning to you, Vishal. We really okay. Jean says she not getting involved. Turn it up a little bit. I hope you're getting it better there, Jean. Anyway, as we get ready for this segment, I wanted to reiterate something I said yesterday, especially to the persons in the diaspora. When you guys see and hear, and you heard Minister Warren spoke about consortiums yesterday. Consortiums yesterday. I expect you Guyanese in the diaspora, when you get this information, you understand what is available to you. You guys seize this opportunity, come back to Guyana and help develop this country. Help develop this country even more than what's happening on the ground now. We see all the roads, we see the bridges, we see the schools, we see the hospitals, we see the stadiums, we see the training of individuals to make sure that the workforce in Guyana is properly equipped. We see the investment in the education sector, not just BID, but and the apprenticeship program, but the Ministry of Education, school books, meals, because we care grant, better environment for teachers, more pay for teachers, money for school aid materials and those kinds of things. We see that the Irfan Ali-led administration is taking into consideration all the things needed to allow Guyanese to have that sort of good life that we were promised a few years ago, but never materialized itself. Now Guyanese own businesses. Well, they own businesses back then, but more Guyanese own businesses. More Afro-Guyanese are in the employ of the government as new contractors and able to put their foot, at least have a foot in the door. You understand? More Guyanese are having tertiary level education from international universities free of cost because of initiatives by this administration. Not so long ago, persons had to depend on the Bortram College of nonsense, like I would usually call it. But things are better now, and we're moving forward, and that is what is most important, right? That is what is most important. Now, I want to welcome you guys again to this program, and today we have the privilege of having the minister within the Ministry of Public Works, Deodat Indar, joining us to dive into Budget 2025 and the ambitious plans for infrastructure and development. Now, the Ministry of Public Works plays a pivotal role in transforming our nation. And this year's budget reflects that, with over 1 trillion allocated to public sector investment programs. Infrastructure stands at the heart of this transformation. From road expansions to sea defense, airport upgrade, the bridge construction, well, the several bridges that will be constructed across the country, the ministry has been leading the charge to modernize and connect every corner of Guyana. Today, we'll be exploring the progress made in 2024 and the vision for 2025 and what these investments mean for the lives of everyday Guyanese. We'll also take a closer look at some of the flagship projects, the Gas to Shore Energy Project, the new Demerara River Bridge, which have the potential to redefine the economic landscape of Guyana. Guys, join me in welcoming on screen the Honorable Minister within the Ministry of Public Works, the Honorable Deodat Indar. Minister Indar, morning to you. Welcome to the program. Thank you for taking the time to be here.
Morning, Courdel. I don't know if you're hearing me.
We're hearing you clearly, coming in clearly, seeing you clearly.
All right,
Minister, before we jump into specifics of Budget 2025, let's start off with some reflection on 2024. Talk to us about some of the key steps or the progress made by the ministry in relation to infrastructure and all other aspects that fall under the ministry's purview.
Well, okay. Good morning and good morning to your listeners and viewers wherever they are. Um, I think it would be fair to say that 2024, almost recent, it was a year that we saw one of the biggest allocations for public works and energy. But at the same time, in 2025, that budget for public works grew.
Yeah.
But we should go back a little. I think we should go back a little. Because in 2020, when we came into government, one of the things that we tried to immediately, and now we actually did, immediately, soon as we hit the ground, it was non-stop work.
Mm.
We had a couple of months in 2020. We did a budget in 3 weeks, presented it to Parliament. Just imagine the kind of work that went into that and starting to implementing. That's in the middle of COVID.
Right.
One of the things that we, all of us, me included as Guyanese, we tend to forget things a lot and we forget things quickly too. And we must remember those challenges because when COVID happened, the airport was shut down, testing wasn't done properly. Your results had to go to the minister at that time. Um, there was a quarantine process. This was, um, was ancient. It was like an ancient quarantine system. They had vaccines. No economic activity was happening. Drivers couldn't move. The bars were shut down. The place was everybody remember. But sometimes we tend to forget these things. And that is what we had to navigate whilst we were reopening back the country, building back the country, and so on. So 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, and 2024. All of those years, every single one of those years, we have worked like if, you're in a mode that, today's the last day. I have to do
Yeah.
everything that I can do today because today is my last day. And that was the kind of mindset because the amount of work that we put in, I could tell you, I recently did a calculations on one of the program lines that I pay a lot of interest to, which is community roads. We call it miscellaneous roads, right?
Right.
Check that up in addition to what our force account unit does, where the ministry has its own force account unit that goes out and pave roads. And I checked the two together, and it's about from 2020 to now close to 8,000 community roads we have built. Last year alone,
Wow.
in 2023 alone, sorry, 2024 alone, we built about 3,230 roads. That's one only yesterday. I put out one only yesterday. It's on the northern side of Canal Polo 1, the picture that you put up.
Nice. Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
But what we've been doing in this process, not just building the roads in the community, what we've been doing here, Courdel, is that we've been going out into the communities, finding persons that are interested in work, actually doing work, and giving
Right.
them the opportunity. Now, the opposition, especially those in parliament, sometimes they would say, you give person a work. That one was done by the force account unit. That one that you just put.
Mm.
Yeah, that one recently, yes. So the opposition, they will come into and say, people without experience building roads. I could tell you, how can you do that to people? If people with experience alone can get work, that means you're only restricting the pool of contractors to only people who know. So what about
Exactly.
somebody who wants to come into the business and they have no experience? What do? They have to start somewhere. And that is why we went out last year with something called a fixed rate, so everybody work with one rate to
Right.
build concrete roads in the communities. and that has brought about, I could tell you close to 4,000 contractors were onboarded, and those contractors are normal people in communities, and they all know themselves. You see them at the contract signing and so, and they've built damn good roads. You could drive, you go all across the country, see it, and what it has been doing, it has been building like a middle class. It's
Mm.
a new pool of contractors are building a new middle class from all walks of life, from and is male and female. We see some of the best roads I've seen built by females that never been built before. Our boys town there, the first time I saw one of the young lady built a road there, she built it better than the guys them around there, and she continued to do work. And
Right.
apart from that, Courdel, is the amount of workers that these things, what they have to get it done. You have to get a foreman, you got to get laborers, you got to get people to operate the machinery, you got to get surveyors,
Truck
all
drivers, people
drivers,
selling food.
you name it, you
Yeah.
name it, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Now, Minister, let me ask you holistically before we hone in on your sector. What is your overall thoughts of Budget 2025? I know you have had some time to peruse the document. Share your thoughts with us on Budget 2025 holistically.
Well, that is the question. So this budget is not just about infrastructure. Although infrastructure forms about 700 and something $1 billion out of the 1.3 billion.
Mm.
One of the things, I actually have this budget with me. So yes. So on the sorry, yeah. So on the infrastructure side, you have all of the schools, the hospitals, all of the roads, the bridges, the highways, the byways. You have all of the NDIA structures. You have the health
Mm.
facilities. You have the dorms. You have the airstrips, stellings, you name it. We are there building it. That is the capital side. Now, the people must understand the two sides of the budget. So the capital side is that spending that will, when you do it now, it would generate benefit. If you build a road in like a highway, let's take for example Schoonard Highway, that was built by
Mm.
housing. So in the housing sector, there's a great amount of investment there too. So when you build a highway, all of the lands there become very valuable for housing,
Right.
for warehousing, for all kinds of things you do. When you build the high, like when housing build the highway, the Heroes Highway, all of those lands in the back there are open up. People get, people get access to it, and they start developing. And look, it started to develop. And the other thing is, look at NDIE and the Ministry of Agriculture. All of these sluices, all of these farm to market road is giving farmers and persons who do their work to easier access. It brings down the costs. The
Right.
hinterland roads, miners, loggers, all of the truckers that operate in there, the farmers, all of these things, they benefit people. So in the heart of the budget is the people, and how do you assist the different segments of society, right?
Mm.
So apart from the infrastructure side in the various areas, you have all of these measures that we have put in, right? And the measures, when we talk about measures, is what are the things we have put into the budget that can directly help businesses, directly help people, different classes of people. So in the budget and the measures, there are a number of things that I think that are worthy of mention. Because
Mm.
if you look at, let's take one of them for example. Let's just take let's student cash, the student cash draft, right? For the children then through the
Because
ministry.
yeah.
So that's $11 billion. So you have 205,000 children of this nation's children, right? Gonna get them. The parents gonna get it, but it will. So for every child, you get 50,000 plus a $5,000 uniform allowance. So it's $55,000 per child. If you have two children, it's 110 grand. So just imagine a person with two, just getting that just to do the child the boot, some the uniform, they have a sack or whatever they need for school supplies.
Right.
No, we gotta now compare that to what the APNU did when they were in government, Courdel, because what they've done, they've taken away that. It was $10,000 in 2020 when we left government, and they took away the thing in 2015. Sorry, and they took away it. They said they couldn't afford it. Now you are managing a country that just found oil, and you know what the projected revenue is, and you're gonna stop a program like that to the nation's children. How do you explain that? How do they go back into communities and tell people, oh, we care for you? It begs the question, and people need to be reminded of these things. They need to be reminded of it. I remember one time I was the president of the Chamber of Commerce, and they tried to put tax on private education, created a big uproar in the country. How are you going to tax the education? People tend to forget these things. Education is developmental. You don't tax development. And that's what it did. And that's the philosophy, Courdel. Let's take another one. Let's take the University of Guyana. That's a $13.4 billion there for free education, right? For no current and future student. Just think about that. Free education at the nation's university. That is something we have dreamed of. For the thousands of students that been there, that are there, that have student debt, this is a welcome news for all of them. I've met a lot of them. This is welcome news. Look at pension. Pension, they promised they would have increased pension. They would have doubled the pension. They never did. They never did. Now, you're telling the older folks in this country, the people that, work their bones dry for the country since Noah was a boy. They're working in this country. They're paying their taxes. They're paying their land rents. They're paying their property tax. Whatever they have contributed to society. They work, they farm, whatever they've done in their life. They went to the public office. They work at business, whatever they've done. But the older folks in the country, you telling them that I'm going to double your pension when you get old. And when you go into office, you didn't do it. We went into office in 2020. We found the pension figure somewhere around 20,500. And of January of 2025, the pension figure will be double. It will be $41,000, right? $41,000 for the audit. So we are keeping promises. We don't shy away from that. And we make that the budget.
I want to ask you a question I asked Mr. Walrus yesterday. And it's because of what you just said. Now we see that persons are asking the Guyanese population, this year's an election year, to give them an opportunity to run the country. But a lot of the promises they're making are things that your administration that you work under have done, you are doing, or in the process of implementing. So what kind of logic, you're into politics a lot longer than me, what kind of logic do you put there? When somebody is asking somebody to change what they're already getting, for them to come and now give it to them, and they didn't do it before?
Well, that's a good question, Courdel. But let me tell you. So only yesterday, a man raised that with me in the afternoon, about 6 o'clock in the afternoon, 6 o'clock yesterday in the afternoon. The man was saying, so they are coming and promising, but what are they promising to do? Are they promising to build the road that you don't build already? Are they promising to build the hospitals that you are already in the progress of building? Are they promising to build schools that they never did, that we have built over 20-something, and then I'm going to build a whole set more again? Are they promising to build all of the health centers that we are already rebuilding? What are they doing? Are they trying to build the sluices and the farm to market road that we are already building?
Yeah.
Are they promising to bring investors when we are flooded with investors? Are they promised to grow the economy when the economy grew last year by 43.6%? Are they trying to are they promising you to diversify the economy when we have a plan to diversify the economy, and the non-oil economy grew by 13 plus percent last year?
Yeah.
Huh? Are they trying to reinstitute the cash grant that they took away? That we are paying now $55,000 per child, 50,000 plus 5,000. Are they trying to tell you, oh, I know what they're gonna promise? Oh, the cash grant. We have given, not given. The government has made the decision to for $100,000 for every Guyanese 18 years and over.
Right.
That is on its way. Checks, thousands of checks have been paid out. The enrollment is thousands, hundreds of thousands of people being enrolled. And the checks are being printed on a daily basis. It's a humongous task we have taken on. And registration is happening all over. So we are putting monies in people's hand, and about $60 billion going into people's hand in that single cash grant, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that once that is the case, it paves the way for more. You are the vice president, you are the president. Now, what are they going to promise? They're going to we're going to give you $500,000, we're going to give you $1 million. So that is what they do. They want to out-promise people that they never deliver. Now here, how do you check this? You check their track record. They made a set of promises in a 100-day action. Check, like I need to go and check how many of those promises were fulfilled. Yeah. Go and check for yourself. Don't let Indar tell you or Courdel Johnson. You go and check for yourself. And you don't have to go and check. You know, you live through it. People live through it. Every day you wake up, when they were in government, to some new tax they put on, some new fee they put on. Yeah, every day. It was, you know, we and at the time, now vice president, at the time opposition leader Barjagio, termed it as hardship measures, and that is what it was. It was hardship measures. So when you listen to the promises of people who don't keep their promises, well, it is at your own peril. Or they say sometime when you go, you see a signboard, swim at your own risk, because they ain't got nothing they could promise you that they will fulfill. I can tell you that, because they can't fulfill these things because they have a track record of not doing so.
Right. Now, Minister, the Ministry of Public Works is receiving a substantial funding from Budget 2025. Talk to us about some of the top infrastructure projects that will take precedence this year.
But before I go into that, I'll come to the Public Works thing also, because Public Works and energy, those are two areas that I have some responsibility for. Because I work with Prime Minister in the energy sector, right? This budget, I saw the former Minister of Finance, Winston Jordan, said that it's hodgepodge. That's the word he used, hodgepodge. And I saw also that Aubrey Norton, the leader of the opposition, said that, you know, that the $9 billion that we put for targeted interventions is not enough. And that is what you refer to just now, over-promising and not delivering. Yeah. I want to touch on those two things before we actually go into Public Works, if you don't mind.
Go ahead, Minister. Go ahead.
So first of all, the $9 billion is what we call targeted interventions that we will consult the nation on. We'll consult on the areas, and then you'll make the decision based on those consultations. That is not the only cost of living adjustment measures that the budget has. The budget has something that, you know, people take for granted. Look, most countries in the world, when they bring fuel into the country, gas, diesel, fuel oil, you name it, they have an excise tax on it.
Yeah, indeed.
Right? When that is charged to the importer have to add that on when he sells you fuel. So we have reduced that tax that tax rate to zero. Zero. That costs the revenue, or it is revenue that we have foregone. We didn't collect the revenue because we reduced the tax to zero. That
Right.
equates to an annualized cost of about $90 billion. Now,
Wow.
yeah, $90 billion. Now, you know what we could do with $90 billion? Let me tell you. About $33 billion for 125 kilometers of road from Linden to Mobura Hill. $33 billion.
Wow.
Just think about that. If you took
Yeah.
that money, that excise tax, that 90 billion, just for 1 year, you can build 450 kilometers of road, paved road, with the
Yeah.
standard that they're building it from Linden to Mobura. You can build another in a single year. In a single year. That is what it means. That is what the government decision was, just to reduce the costs of fuel imported, because we don't want the knock-on effect on goods prices. Let's take another one. The reduction in taxes for persons in the employ, either in public or private sector. 20. So we reduced the rate, first of all, from 28 to 25. And we reduce the rate for income tax. So we have the PAYE, and then we have income tax, like persons who are running a business and we bring in income. They used to be charged 40%. Now it's 35%. Right? Good. Now, let's go to the personal side. Personal income tax has now reduced to 25%. But what has been added to that? So the threshold, or the amount of tax, amount of money you could earn in a single month that does not attract tax, is 130,000 now. We have put it there now, 130,000. We have raised the bar. So monies that are 130,000, you don't pay tax on that. Then the first 50,000 of your overtime is another zero tax. So that takes you to 180 grand that you don't pay no tax.
Nice.
Right? Now, some people, they have a job and then they got a little side job too. And another, if you have another side job or a secondary worker so that you do, normally you would have had to pay tax on that using the same applicable rate. What we are saying is that income now is tacked on your non-taxable and the first 50,000. So that is 180 plus 50, and 230,000 is zero tax. Then if you got children, some people got a child, 10,000, you get an allowance for that, so that is not about 10,000 a month. If you got 2 children, it's 20 grand. So you're talking about $250,000 of your money on a monthly basis in that scenario that I just put out here. Is not taxable. 250,000 is about what? 1,200 US.
Yeah,
Is on a given month is not taxable. So these are some of the things that we have put in to make sure that money remains in people's hand, that your net salary goes up. That means more money is in your hand, because food prices went up. I think it inflated by 5.something%, right? So the general inflation is very low, but food prices went up because of what is happening globally. People tend to, put that in the hands of the government. But at the end of the day, the United States just had an election where cost of living was a big thing on voters' minds. The United States of America have the problem, and they manufacture a lot of goods over there. Although they import a lot, they manufacture a lot. So Guyana, we are not spared from that. In fact, because we are down south so far, the cost to bring goods from source, where it's manufactured, whether it's in Eastern, whether it's in East Asia, or wherever in that Asian bloc, it is China, Taiwan, Singapore, Malaysia, you name it, those goods are in Guyana. And they got to come through various routes. That takes longer now. And the shipping rates are up a long time now, for years, and that has impacted the cost of the goods that is landed here. So also cost did go up, and it didn't go up for Guyana, it only go up for every other country in the world. So this is not a Guyana phenomenon, it's a global phenomenon. So we have to take that into consideration. So the budget puts more money in people's hands. We're not doing like what they did, to take money out of people's pocket by putting both hands in the pocket. Because what they did when they were in government, they taxed a whole lot of items that were zero rated, meaning that you don't pay any input tax on the thing, and you don't charge any sales tax. Sorry, you when you import it, you pay your tax and you recover it from GRE as an input tax. But you can't charge the standard rate of 14%. You know what they did? They took off a lot of item off of the zero rated list and put it on the standard rated list. Food, all them children, the supplies to go to school, you gotta pay tax on.
Internet and all sorts of things.
Right? So they were taking money from you through when you go to the shop and buy goods, because the companies were obligated to charge that in their tax in the sales price.
Yeah.
Right? That's what they did. So it's the total opposite, is North Pole and South Pole. We have removed back all of those things and from charge and VAT and put them back on the zero rated list. And now we're putting money in the hands of people so that they can deal with any unforeseen seasonal prices. Because you go to the market, and every week you go to the market, you got a basket of goods that you normally buy to take care of yourself, different times of the year, because of rainfall, because of more sun when you got the droughty periods, prices, which is a normal.
Sometimes I think people take that into consideration, especially in the markets. They think the government, or they think you or your ministers planting these greens and bringing it and selling it at high prices. They don't take these factors into consideration.
Yeah, but you also got to understand, market forces. You can't go trouble with that. When farmers plant, they think they're men toiling all the time. You ever go into the farmers, see how hard they work? So they work hard too. So if their yields are down, or if they got a rainy season, the crop damage and those kind of things, they got to recover the costs, because they got to live too, right? So everybody has to live. Now, as I said, we are making sure that we are putting in a number of measures to ease the cost of living, and I mentioned some of them just now. I can go and explain every single one of them and how they impacting people. But just to tell you, the last one with the raise in the threshold for personal income tax, that will benefit 100,000 people. 100,000 people on the GRE database that is in that tax bracket will benefit there. 100,000. The pensions is about 70-something thousand pensioners. The public assistance that raised to is another 40,000 people. The children that we are giving the cash grant to, the 55,000, it's 205,000 children in the school system. You see the amount of people that this budget is meeting, and that is only a couple of the measures I talk about. It's reaching everyone, everywhere in the country. All right? Now let's talk about how much more time we have. How much more time we have?
Yeah, we got time. Once you're talking here, when you're ready to go, we can cut the program. So we're going to projects for 2025 to the ministry.
All right. So let's talk about some of the flagship ones. So the Demerara Harbor Bridge. As you can see, that project is advancing nicely. There are some delays, and they'll cost you about the delays. The opposition costs you, the project is delayed. The project is what you call a multi-year project. It means it can't done in 1 year. It's multi-year. Those projects take significant time to design, to have the engineering specs, to tender, to award, to mobilize, to build. It's been building for the longest, we could say, about 2 years now. Now, the project will be delivered in August of this year. We are working hard. At least everybody that passed there, that project got about 100,000 clock of works. because everybody pass on the Harbor Bridge, going and coming, have a comment, have an opinion. But one of the things that they can't say is that them people working there night and day, they don't stop.
Yes.
And they
Indeed,
have over
indeed.
700 workers there working night and day.
Wow.
Right? And the project is advanced. Look, they're putting in the concrete girders now with the cranes. Right? Soon you will see that they're using the construction tray to start constructing the main pier at Pier 34 and 35, where the ships will pass between. Right? On the eastern side, where the Princess and Nandi Park is on that one side, they already start on that side and they run off road to connect it to Heroes Highway, right? And Region 3, we already built Schoonard, we already have the roundabout. Soon as they're ready, they'll connect that small piece there and you'll have your bridge. That bridge will benefit the whole country. It will benefit the whole country because commerce between Region 3 and Region 4, the two main economic hubs, well, you know, you can move containers. Right now, there's a limitation on moving more than 18 tons on the Harbor Bridge. Any other thing than that, you got to do special crossing. So it limits containerized goods, heavy goods, all these things. So when that bridge is finished in Region 3, you'll have a lot of huge warehouses, you'll have a lot of other major economic development that is happening in Region 3 because you can move goods easily, right? So that is one project. And I could go on with the benefits of that project forever. Let's talk about the Wisma Bridge now. They promised the Wisma Bridge 220 meters of they promised 2-lane bridge for double the cost. We contracted that bridge for 35 million US, a 4-lane bridge for half the cost. Just imagine that. 2-lane they were proposing, and they only propose, they're good proposers. They only propose, and I was told yesterday by somebody, how they put up a sign down there in Wisma, say promise delivered, the signboard. Right? The signboard. So we are building that bridge. The president was there in the beginning of the year to check on the progress of the bridge. He walked the bridge. He saw the temporary structure there because how you build these bridge is that they have to build a bridge to construct a bridge. So they call so the temporary one is already there in place, and they start in construction. They already start to do all of the works to do the permanent construction. Let's talk about some of these highways. Yesterday I met a gentleman. He said he came in November and he landed at Ogle Airport and he came back 3 days ago, and he said like a different place he landed. Because every time he came, the place keeps changing all the time. And that is a reflection of hard work. It is hard, painstaking work. The contractors, the engineers, all our sales ministers, even the president being there a couple of times last year to make sure that connection between Ogle to Eccles is done. So maybe by next month, we should be able to complete that road and open up that road. And we will say the first quarter of this year, right? But that road is, it's going to be a major connection. We are now widening the road now from Sheriff Street till to Mahika Orange Nassau. That project is advanced, working. There's the men are working day and night there. We are opening up the road from New Amsterdam straight up to Molson Creek. We are already built 99 structures. We are opening that. The entire Barbies will benefit from that. Look at the highways in Region 3. Yeah, that's the road there. That's the road there, and that's in the Lilendal area with all of these massive structures that are going up. All of these hotels. Look, all of these hotels that are being built at the airport, all over. You find them being built up, right? Look at those, right? Warehousing that. Now that shows investors' confidence. It shows investors' confidence that the country is on the right track, that our ability to pay bills as a country is one of the lowest in the world. We're about 24.3%. We call debt to equity. We call your debt to GDP ratio. Your debt burden is about 24.3%, one of the lowest in the entire world. And I could tell you, somebody, you gotta got a good mind. As either that, or you gotta got good. This countryside, you gotta got belly. You got belly. for go and criticize
Yeah.
one of the best
Please
music
trouble.
world called Yagafa got belly. They also got belly, right? When they were in government, right? When they were in government, buddy, we were talking what you call HIPIC, a highly indebted poor country. In 1992, we were HIPIC, right? When you take in 153% of your income to pay your interest, just to service
Right.
it. You understand
Right.
what I mean? That means that your bills, every $100 that you generate, you gotta find 153 to pay just your debt.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
service your debt, not the capital, the service and the interest payment plus the part of the capital, servicing you call it, right? Debt servicing. So I don't know. Sometimes I wonder, you know. But
Minister,
some, as I said, some of them got belly. They got belly.
man, trouble. Let's jump over to sea defense. Now, this remains critical for Guyana. Talk to us about strengthening coastal sea defense and probably hinterland as well. And what budget 2025 would allow the ministry to continue doing this year.
So, sea defense, we got about 8.2 billion in this year. I think it was similar as last year, but we maintain the entire coastline and the riverine too, right? So
Right.
apart from the coast, we do river defenses too, right? Because the rivers, sometimes they overflow and they flood communities. So it's both we do. Now, I could tell you, I could break out in song if I started to tell you the amount of villages and communities that we do sea defense work. We do from straight up from all of the coasts, from in Borbies there, all of those villages in Maikoni where they had some breaches where they had a lot of breach in a place called Danzig when we came into government. They just normally come and talk about, we gotta protect the sea and river defense. So when they were in government, the first day I came into government, the second day I'm in Lang boots in a place called Danzig in Maikoni. The little sea defense flood out about 3,000 acres and then people farm.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
something that people can't, the farmers can't plant it because the salt water damage the soil.
Oh, wow. So the land is
Yes,
no good.
and you hear these kind of, this holier than thou statement, these people, they have some superior knowledge and they have some genius kit in the corner with all of the secrets of how to do development, to the chest. Like if, send them for do that. And I hear them, but, actions speak louder than words. When they were in there,
Exactly.
they allowed the thing to break away. They allowed the thing to break away. Some of the sea defenses right where I live in Tushin across there, Tushin North, were breaking away. Flood out all of them. People with a little small, with mining the little chicken and the sheep and the goats. So them thing had to be on the road. I went there myself. These two, I saw that. The people thing was on the road. We had to go and do an emergency down there. So, but that is what they used to do. But since we have been in government, I could tell you we have been seriously looking at sea defense. You got a strong team. You have a good board in place that manages and meet very often to look at all of the sea defenses. All of the islands like Wakanam, Legua, you name it, we there on the Essequibo coast, all of those places. We are doing sea defense work, riprap work, you call it. And then you have the normal as well. So sea defenses, I believe that is well managed. I think that the team that we have managing it all is a very hard-working team. Right now, they got some bids out. So we already tender for the year works. As soon as the budget is cleared, so we can add with those works. So you can see some action here.
Okay. All right, Minister, how is the expansion with the Cherry Dragon International Airport progressing? And are there any plans to upgrade domestic airports to boost hinterland connectivity?
Yeah, well, so Cherry Dragon, as you know, we've been rebuilding that existing terminal there. We do a new, building down there where we can accommodate more people, more shops. So we've been doing a lot of that. On the cargo side, we have been talking to a lot of developers to do, the different services there to deal with cargo. Over the past year or so, there was an interest that came in from an investor to do Terminal 2. So we're going to do 150,000 square feet of terminal. So that's terminal 2, and that will be a world class kind of terminal. So that is on the table. So that's where you call development, um, Courdel. Because we're not just doing that, we're doing all of the immigration systems is being upgraded. All of the reforms will no longer be paper. Um, we have a new ID card that the vice president, when he was in the UAE, negotiated um, with that project. I was part of that with him. I have to say that that is a reality because the ID card will now be used the minute you could dock. When you dock it the first time and your information go into the system, you don't have to do it again, because when you come, you have facial recognition that will say this is the person. Your face shows up and you can go through, right?
Yeah,
It
yeah.
goes for you. So that those kiosks are already installed at CGIA as well. So we are developing the aviation sector, all right? On the hinterland airstrips, we've been developing some of them in the far-flung areas like Carisparu, like Ittering Bang, in Baimadai. We got to do a couple more now in Jawala, in Apoteri, and some other places. We got to, Chinapau, and so we got to do those. But I got a lot of airstrips that we normally maintain, about 55 of them we normally maintain, but we got about 100 and something landing fields in the hinterland, right? But we have to maintain a lot of them. Some of them we are rebuilding. The Kaichor one, we are extending that one in partnership with the GDF. So we've been doing a lot for hinterland travel. They let them, we repave that one, and that has to be developed further because you have a lot of traffic now coming from Brazil and going elsewhere. So
Right.
we have not. In fact, we've been pushing ahead on the hinterland travel, because if you talk to the airlines that operate in the hinterland, the traffic, their flights are always, just back and running there, coming here, running there, coming, because of the traffic going in. And it's not just moving people, it's cargo, because we are building a lot of schools in those areas, a lot of health centers in those areas. We're now building roads in those areas, concrete roads in those areas. I don't know if you've been keeping check, but the president went to a place called Whitewater in Region 1, and we built 2 kilometers of concrete road in there, and we use the people of Whitewater to do it. Same
Yeah,
thing.
I was there when you did the check. I was there when you did the check.
We're going to do 1 kilometer from the school straight down to the waterfront. We have just done a kilometer of road in a place called Yorong Paru. I don't know if you know what that is, but that is, it's in 8, right? Yeah, it's Region 8. So all of these farm. So you got to get material in there too, We're building a hospital in 9, so you got to get material. So the air traffic is not just on passengers, a lot of cargo too.
So I must mention, recently the president would have commissioned a new airship at Ittering Bang just late last year. And when they were giving, the GDF was giving the logistic report, the amount of boat rides to get cement and all those things in there, I really don't think some people understand where these places are and how
that project was, it was difficult to get the material in there to build the landing strip. It was very difficult. Very, very difficult. It took a little while too. So, these guys, sometimes they come and say, oh, the project is not done, but they don't understand this understanding how to get things done. They don't build nothing. What they built is
Durban Park,
Durban Park there. Go and check it out. It's now a park. Do you know that place, right? We normally do the national cleanup, right, Courdel? Those some of the vagrants that live in there using that as their mailing address. They're using it as a mailing address. I kid you not. When we had the meeting, to plan the last cleanup, they're using the place as their mailing address. It's hard to believe. Well, I heard that one, and I said,
Minister, let me ask you about something more serious. So this gas energy project is a game changer for Guyana. The vice president has explained over and over how Guyanese would benefit. lower cost of the electricity. You have the cooking gas section of it, and there are other mechanisms for benefits. From your point of view, since you have responsibility over energy, talk to the Guyanese people again and reassure them about the feasibility of this project.
So just a correction, the Prime Minister of Guyana has responsibility for energy, and I assist
Right,
him
sorry.
in managing the day-to-day operations of the sector.
Right.
So the gas to energy project is a huge project. It required thinking, it required collective effort. It is not no hodgepodge as that project is designed to use gas as the fuel, not bunker C, not diesel, gas, which first of all, you're reducing the amount of greenhouse gas into the air when you burn the fuel to produce the power. The gas plus the pipe plus all infrastructure plus the cost of the plant plus the natural gas liquids facility, we call the NGL plant, all of that plus transmission line and so on, all of that, we're going to produce power around 4.5 cents to 5 cents. Right now we're producing power around 19 that generation only. That is generation around 19 cents. Full cost to produce power is 30 to 31 cents. Depends on which month you talk about and the price of fuel.
Right.
I say full cost when I say full cost, it means cost for generation, but cost also transmit the power. So you gotta add the generation plus transmission and distribution costs, right? So in product costing, you call it marginal costing and full costing. Marginal means your variable cost alone, and your full cost includes marginal expenses which are variable and fixed expenses that to give you your full cost. That is for the accountants. I was an accountant in the day. So this project is intended to bring 300 megawatts onto the Demerara Barbies integrated grid, which is in a coastline. It does not include Region 2 or the hinterland. Those got off-grid systems, right? We got plants managing, providing power to those 8 separate power stations. So they have about 230,000 customers and counting, because every day somebody going and open a house, you got to get power. So the housing drive is adding to the demand. The economic expansion of the country is adding to the demand. The demand is just growing and growing and growing and growing all the time. So we have to get the power. Now the power will be delivered this year. The simple cycle of it, so it's what we call combined cycle. So you bring in a simple cycle, and then after you bring in the combined cycle. These are using turbines. They're not generators. So generators is what we have currently. Like the plants, they have what we call reciprocating generators, meaning they build up, right? As you store them on, they build up and they generate, and that's why when you get a shutdown, sometimes when somebody hit down one of them high power line or something, born up or something, you end up in a shutdown because the demand and your supply is there. So anything happen, the system is very unstable. Now you have about 267 generating capacity with the 2 power ship, and you have the plants then. Long and short of it, this project, which is well advanced because it have about 5 or 6 parts of it. So they have the transmission line, which is about 80% complete to evacuate the power from Wales to Garden, over to Garden of Eden, to a place at the back of vehicles there where we're putting the control center. We have the control center building to build, and we have this something called SCADA equipment, which is the brain of the control center. Another contractor has that. We already laid the deep water pipe, the shallow water, and the pipe on land to take it to Wales. They already built the material offloading facility and the heavy haul road to take in the equipment. The contractor that is building the plant itself They have already done the work on the soil and the layout. We call it ISP. Yeah,
Mm.
that is what they call it in the project. So, which is the site, and they've already put in their pilings, right? They have already bought a lot of the transformers that are in the country and the turbines as well. So they have to build out the plan, and that is what they're doing. But in the end of this project, when it start, when we commission it, it will put power into the system, and you will, in the budget, there's a commitment to reduce electricity bills by half. Now, electricity right now is charged around 48 Guyanese dollars at at a customer end, like a normal household, and it goes up based on the class of the customer. If it's a big customer, if it's a business, if it's an industrial customer, it goes up from there, right?
Right.
It will just imagine your bill will cut in half. If you used to pay $20,000 a month, you could pay 10 grand, right? If you used to pay 50,000 as a business, you pay 25,000. So just imagine that going to your bottom line. Now we have did an analysis, and we calculated that Guyanese will save 388 million US every year from this plan.
Wow. Wow.
Because what we will also, apart from the reduction in the rate of what you're going to pay, we are also going to be selling cooking gas very, very, very cheap, because the plant will be able to make cooking gas. And a lot of Guyanese now using gas, cooking gas, right?
Yeah.
So this project, I can tell you, is a big one, and it's been managed with they have a task force in place, but through the office of the president as well, and the office of the prime minister, we have a collective all hands on deck too, because it's a big project, and we are all working on it to make sure that we deliver to Guyanese.
Yeah. Minister, my last question to you before I let you go. I know you have a busy day today. There's a recent video on Facebook where somebody would have satellite the bins there at the Lamaha embankment there. Talk to Guyanese about the importance of caring for the public infrastructure that the taxpayers' dollars go to upkeep. I don't know if you saw the video.
They set a light at what? I didn't get that.
The garbage bins at the Lamaha embankment.
I didn't see the video.
Oh,
But
man.
apart from that, I get the point. I get what you're trying to say. So a few years ago, the president has appointed me as a chair of what we call the National Enhancement Committee. So we deal with a lot of stuff, whether it's the national cleanup, whether it's making sure that the city looks clean in terms of the trees and so on. All of these green spaces, we work with every agency, Office of the Forest Lady, Public Works. We have a whole host of agencies. We clean up the city. You have the police, the army, you have GPL, you have local government. You have a whole host of oh, that's the thing where the guy's lighting?
Yeah, no, he's outing it there. I think these are the people from, they came to out them, but somebody set all the bins there alight on the Lamaha embankment there.
Well, that is nothing else but wickedness. That's to destroy the bins.
Yeah, that's all of them, all the way down.
Yeah, that's not. I didn't see this. Oh my God, that's just worthlessness, man. We build all of these parks all over the place. People go, they see a light standing, they go and swing on the light and they break the light. They have a bench, they go try to dig out something from the bench. The plants, they go and they carry away some of the plants. They destroy the infrastructure that we put in. But the infrastructure is for everybody. None of them would leave Guyana and go to the United States or Canada and do that. Absolutely not. In fact, when they go, they gotta sort the garbage. This one is recyclable, this one is not. Right? They can't put it in the front yard because they're gonna get charged for that. So what we do, we are enemy of our own self sometimes. But it is disheartening to see hard work to build those things. Taxpayers' hard taxpayers' money going into that. For the communities, for the children, for families, it's safe and green spaces. We're building them all over. People love these things, but they got few people who have really. I could tell you that is just pure evil. You're gonna destroy the bin too.
I
Apart
hope
from
y'all
throwing the
got
garbage, you're gonna destroy the bin.
That's ridiculous.
Independence Boulevard, beautiful boulevard. Our government is something everybody should be proud of. The entire place is transformed. You gotta go there and see the garbage. They are putting industrial garbage in the garbage bins that we put down there. Folks are going to put industrial garbage. So we have a real problem with behavior. So we have to check ourselves. Now, this is really, really, really heartbreaking to see. I must tell you. Really heartbreaking.
Minister, I'd like to thank you for being here with us this morning. We are looking forward to your presentations as the Budget 2025 debates roll out. I think it should be starting tomorrow. Thanks again for being here. Continue the good work that you and Minister Ejel are doing at the ministry. Do you agree with the minister that people will campaign on roads that they didn't build? That's the last one.
I've been seeing it all the time. Minister Ejel coined it nicely, but that's the case.
Boy. Minister, take care. Thank you for being here. We'll see you at Parliament, and do enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for sharing with the viewers.
Thank you very much, Courdel.
Take care. That was Minister Deodat Indar, Minister within the Industry, Minister within the Ministry of Public Works. And he gave us a rundown on some of the accomplishments of 2024, what Budget 2025 has in store for Guyanese. And I appreciate that he took the time to break down some of the other measures from the sector that don't fall under his purview, so that Guyanese have a better understanding holistically of the measures within Budget 2025. Now, more community roads on the cards. As you know, the new Demerara crossing is under construction. The bridge at Mackenzie is under construction. There'll be a new Burbies River Bridge. All sorts of things, all sorts of infrastructure development happening around the country. And we cannot deny that there's a massive transformation happening. Massive transformation around the country. Thank you guys for being here on the program with me. Tomorrow we'll be having Minister Sonia Pratt, Minister of Local Government and Regional Development, and she'll be taking us through the paces in relation to the allocation to her ministry and some of the accomplishments that they were able to achieve in 2024 in terms of delivering to the various regions, the 10 administrative regions of Guyana. I am out of here, and as I usually say before I go, it's all about peace, it's all about love, it's all about one thing.
We are a peaceful people, struggle as we struggle, and we don't look for trouble. Just ask around. But when outside faces from foreign places talk about taking over, we ain't backing down. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. This land is all I know. We're gonna make it somehow. We will bend like a bow, but never break. Our